Hello friends, welcome back to my gaming channel Neo. So let's continue on our gameplay walkthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn. So we have completed all the side quests and main quests in the main game. In our main game, the game completion is 100%, game progression 100%. But we are left with some data points. The first I will do is these two audio data points. So for that, I came here at Gaia Prime where there is this shrine of Elizabeth. From here, before you move here, you will see a small tunnel entrance here. Go through it. As we move out here, we have to pry open this door. And then this one. Let's see what we have here. Okay, and here was one of the audio data points. Eleuthia runtime check.
Alright, let's start over from Eleuthia 1.
Running integrity tests. Dr. Brochard Klein, may I seek outside protocol?
I suppose so. There's no one to stop you.
Doctor, you are fatigued. You have been logging abnormal sleep cycles. Are you suffering from depression?
Well, I am trapped in a science facility for the rest of my life. How about you?
In a time slice of a quadrillion operating cycles, 10,000 are involved with processing the loss of Dr. Sobek. I have considered quarantining these processes. Do you think that would be wise?
I'm not a psychologist, Gaia, or an AI scientist. No. It is natural. At least in the context of the work you and I have accomplished, which begs the meaning of the term natural. She was your creator, the patron saint of this crazy endeavor, Our Lady of the Fervent Hypothetical.
Even assuming a string of significant failure combinations, Zero Dawn's chances of success are greater than the hypothetical.
It's called a manner of speech, Gaia. Take a note.
Okay, that is one of the audio data points. And for the other one, we have to get back. We are back here. And then, I don't know how I missed it. It's in this room across. Here it is. Core control lock.
Hello, Margot. How are you holding up?
Dr. Unson, I've been getting a lot of messages, unsolicited messages from Ted.
Margot, I'm sorry. With Liz gone, we've got no one to run interference with him. I'll talk to Ted. He mostly wants updates, constant updates, hundreds of updates on things he knows nothing about. Liz used to field all of his crap.
He doesn't understand the systems at all. That was kind of by design. But he's getting pretty sketchy with me.
We just have to keep him happy. Liz always said keep him happy.
Are you kidding? You ever hear how she talked to him?
She was managing him, Margot.
I mean, maybe I should ignore him. He's buried in this pyramid with the Hola Hola girls and Panta Antimod cuckoos. What can he do?
Okay. Not this one. Data point. That completes all our audio data points. Hologram data points are complete. Text data points are complete. Now it is for the text data point quests are complete. Now it's time for the text data points world. So now we will be doing the text data point. So the text data for the text data points we will have I first travel here near Devil's Thirst, and it should be somewhere here. Let's find it. there it is. There's the text data point. Here my. Okay, this is the second one. Here my program attracted young people back to New Zealand, Auckland, January 1, 2062. Annalise Cameron was barely 3 years old when her family fled the 2036 submergence. Now she has come back. We joke it's not New Zealand anymore, it's New Zealand. But that's just having a laugh. For the first time in my life, I feel like I am home. Cameron is one of approximately 17,000 young Kiwi transplants participating in the New Zealand government Here My program, which offers tax incentives to displaced New Zealanders for returning home. The program is the brainchild of PM Nagata, who is widely credited with facilitating the revitalization of Auckland and Christchurch through risky post-Citarum River disaster investment in the nanotech construction industry. It's time to let our world know we are still here, said Nagata of the program. Our nation is strong. Not even the die off could bring us down. We have rebuilt and our doors are open. The next one can be found a little back this side where I am. Here there will be a tower here at the bottom. Here is the data point. Refugee Museum
Just stay out of their way for now.
This is the first one. Climate Refugee Museum opens in London. London, May 8, 2016. Celebrated poet and environmental activist Diogo Abela fought back tears today in a speech delivered on the steps of the newly opened Climate Refugee Memorial Museum in London. I was 19 in 2033 when the waves rose up and swallowed the Azores, Abela said. The waves swallowed my home. The next decade of my life I would spend behind the walls of the Thamesmead Emergency Reallocation Facility, starving day, freezing at night, contending with scorn, disgust, and abuse from the very people charged to care for me. Abela went on to discuss the still controversial police actions of 2038 in the Thamesmead uprising, and it was an uprising, not a riot, as your hollow pages still call it. I saw men and women crushed beneath the jackboot heel of a panicking power structure. Friends, lovers, I saw them die. My experience is not singular. There were 1,000 Thamesmeads. We must not allow this dark moment in our special history to become a shrugging footnote. Second Chance Party UK Prime Minister Sally Boyer was among the first to tour the new museum. Our nation totally needs this. What climate refugees endured was really bad. It completely deserves a real space museum so we can literally stand in their remembrance and be aware and create a brighter world than what came before. In contrast, opposition candidate Nigel Kearns Bailey of the Fair Chance UK party was fiercely critical of the museum and its spokesperson. More than 1 billion persons perished in the Great Die-Off. Thanks to the generosity of the UK, our generosity, Diego Abela was not of them. If he so hates the fact that we saved his life and gave him shelter for a decade, I suggest he wend his way down to the Thames and jump it. It's never too late to drown. In fact, data corrupted. The next data point can also be found right here near this tall neck and vantage point. a little up from here, this side, this place. Here, if you look to this tall structure, you will find a data point here. Leaks spark fears. Okay, it's this one. Leaked Xiaolu internal correspondence spark fears of potential mass layoffs, deportations. Shanghai, July 4, 2062. The hacker collective Idiot Army has released nearly a terabyte of internal correspondence from Xiaolu Lunar Resources Inc., sparking rumor that the Shanghai-based lunar mining company is preparing to downsize considerably. Xiaolu's sizable robotic war fleet and competitive salaries attracted attention from young English-speaking professionals in the mid-2050s, but the leaked files suggest that the company's increasing reliance on automation may have made much more of their human workforce obsolete. The correspondence repeatedly touches on the potential costs of relocating redundant personnel, suggesting that if mass layoffs do occur, former Xiaolu employees will lose the Chinese citizenship guaranteed by their employment. The next one can be found a little further up here from Devil's Thirst in this portion. Here, if you look inside this broken building kind of thing, in this side, you will find data point here. UK vets struggle. This is the data point. 10 years ago, after mastering out, UK vets struggle to make ends meet. Watford, May 1, 2062. 10 years ago, Lance Corporal Rosalind Jeffrey received her discharge paperwork at a ceremony that marked the decommissioning of all human combat forces in the Royal Air Force. Today, Jeffries and her husband live with another former military family in a small two-bedroom flat in Watford. Well, it's not ideal, says the good-hearted Jeffries, who supplements her military pensions as a bartender, but it's sort of an English tradition, isn't it? Resenting elected officials for breaking promises we made too. Jeffrey isn't the only one having to make do. According to a study conducted by the Social Welfare Research Institute, 75% of veterans polled reports that they are unable to cover living expenses within their pension income alone. Researcher Harold Ademi explains it's a complicated situation. 10 years ago, few people anticipated just how high and how quickly the cost of living would rise. As funding of the NHS has gradually been siphoned into the coffers of corporate healthcare provided, it's become increasingly difficult for veterans to access Medicare. Those are just two factors of probably thousands contributing to straits becoming so dire for our veterans. But I suppose that's little comfort to someone who's struggling to feed their children. The next one can be found a little further up from the Devil's Trust. To the left side of this Devil's Trust, in this broken building structure here, you have to go here and go up here, and you will near this Mother's Rise board, you will find it like Harriet Choi dies. Okay. Naysay Doom, Priestess Harriet Choi dies. But September 2, 2063, infamous bioterrorist and Naysay Doom cult member Harriet Choi has died of lung cancer at the age of 54. Choi, whose religious beliefs prevented her from seeking treatment, released a statement last year reading in part, "I am dying as always and none are far behind me. I remain steadfast. Father Globe is in his death throes. He is ready to die, but you scorn Father Globe. Rather than help him, slough of filth, you condescend, insist you know what's best. Now you have had your claw back and think you will live forever, but the graves remain no less spacious than before. Joy was serving a life sentence at Punitech Inc.'s Alpha campus for engineering the Doom Plague viral cocktail that scorched New York, London, Moscow, Tokyo, and Shanghai in 2039. The decision to imprison Choi for life rather than execute her was met with widespread outrage, but information she provided in exchange for the sentence led to the arrest of 16 higher ranking members of the terrorist cult and ultimately Nazi Doom's collapse. The next one can be found a little higher up over here. Previous one is in this building, now in this building. On the right side here, you have to go here and looks like a gas station. Go behind it and you will find a data point here. Hearts wins Bahamas. Hearts wins Bahamas. Hearts declares victory in fight for the Bahamas. Nassau, December 2062. After weeks of skirmishes between the robotic forces of US-backed Hertz Corporation and the Colombia-based combined TG Communication, the island that composed the former Commonwealth of the Bahamas have been officially acquired by Hertz, pending a successful request for enfranchisement. Interest in the Bahamas, newly re-emerged since polarized reconstruction caused global sea levels to recede, was sparked by Bahamian beaches' rich deposit of aragonite, a mineral used in the chemical scrubbing of water-based pollutants. Hertz, which commands an already impressive robotic military force, enlisted the aid of Michigan-based private military corporation Great Lakes Combat Solution to capture TG Communications manufacturing facilities. The much smaller Colombian corporation defended their Bahamian facility for longer than early projections anticipated, thanks in part to Robot League's agreement with the Indian military, but was ultimately forced to retreat in the face of a larger and better equipped acquisition force. Hertz has announced intentions to holocaust an immersive extravagance highlighting the most explosive moments of robot conflict. However, as of press time, no scheduled date has been set. The next one can be found over here. The previous one was somewhere back here. No, not back here. Whatever it was, I think it was back here. So, and we have to get a little bit further up near this Mother's Crown. Here, this broken down building kind of place. We have to get here, and then we have to look behind this building. And here it is. RP Grit. Okay. This is definitely the best free dating app in the Faro store. It's a lonely world out there. Sometimes you need a little high-tech help to find your one and only. After wading through the ocean of apps in the dating and romance category, we are confident we have found the coolest, if maybe also the nerdiest one. RP Grid grabs the familiar mechanisms of role-playing games onto the messy, chaotic world of romance, and the result is a lot more fun than you might expect. Users gain or lose experience by going on successful or not so much dates. After each date, users are invited to give their prospective partner one of many ratings such as Orc -25 experience, NPC -10 experience, starting character +10 experience XP, and or multi-class wizard or thief of hearts +25 XP. The app is a little intimidating for users in the early going who wants to date a level 1 one question mark. But it does not take long to pick up a few levels and earn little more attention. RP Grid's augmented reality interface is pretty fantastic as well. Activate your focus, open the app, and suddenly the stats of everyone in your vicinity with an Grid account are displayed right there next to them in real space. So if you are looking to strengthen your flirt game at the cafe shop, RP Grid got you covered. Tech Breakfast is legally required to notify readers that the above content was paid for by RP Grid and does not necessarily reflect the actual opinions or experiences of Tech Breakfast or its contributors. So the next one can be found very near this building, near the previous one we got. So we went to this side of the building, right? So for the next one, go to this side of the building and you'll find one right here. Get tactile. Okay. Fling your G-reader to the garbage mob. It's time to get tactile. How full of your full immersion when object interaction is your full immersion when object interaction are merely gestural. Be honest, cutting the head of the Goblin King feels fake when drawing your sword is just another rote gesture. No heft of a blade, no satisfaction. But be sad no more. Make fantasy come alive with Shadeware tactile gauntlets. Shadeware's patented flex back reactive fabrics stimulates the weight resistance and textures of in-game objects, allowing you to interact with your fantasies like never before. Heft of blade? Check. Crack of bone snapped between your fists? Check. Kung Fu punch through the ribcage? Check. Limited time offer. Pre-order for your pair of Shadeware tactile gauntlets now for guaranteed release date drone delivery and receive an exclusive diamond pommel saber for use in Goblin Nation. Shadeware tactile gauntlets. Are you ready to use your hands? And the next one can also be found very near here. I just need to get over to this water before coming here, and we can find one lying in the water. Inebriate available. Let's see what this is. For immediate release, Inebriate now available in Faro Store, San Francisco, CA 2059. Available today on the Faro Store. Inebriate turns your focus into the best drinking buddy. Looking to bend the elbow? Inebriate monitors your blood alcohol level, notifying bartenders when your drink needs freshening, negotiating with bouncers and summoning friends if you have overindulged, feeling maudlin after a night of the town. Inebriate analyzes all hollow snaps before they are sent and saves you from humiliation. No more drunken weapon to your ex. Getting creeped on by a weirdo with a discreet gesture, Inebriate alerts your posse to come save you from unwanted social exchange. Inebriate currently recognizes or modulates alcohol, marijuana, skydive, and duster intoxication, and full future patches will integrate razor wing and snake. Time to party, time for Inebriate. The next one can be found a little farther away. The previous one was back, I think, I don't exactly remember. It was back here. So it is a little farther away, up here, near this Devil's Grief. The previous one was near Devil's Thirst. So near this data point, vantage point and campfire, that's this portion. You will find the next one lying around. If you go around here, find it lying around here. Chocolate box log. Your latest meaningful conversation on chocolate box. Was this the love connection moment you will tell your grandkids about? You can opt out of receiving these logs at any time by editing your chocolate box profile. Safina, hey, Lars, hey, how is going? Sarfina, fine, bored though, Lars, yeah, Wednesday night. Sarfina, you're really cute, Lars, thank you too. Sarfina, hey, do you want to chat with me in my private salon? Lars, oh, you are a honey bun. Sarfina, haha, what? No, silly. Lars, okay, if you're not a honey bun, tell me about the most earth-shattering work of art you have ever seen. Sarfina, you are funny, Lars. Lars, tell me the last time you experienced heartache. Sarfina, you are funny, Lars. Lars, tell me about an experience your friends enjoyed but about which you were ambivalent. Sarfina, hey, do you want to chat with me in my private salon? Lars, holy crap, you are not even a good honeybird, you suck. Sarfina, you are funny, Lars. Lars has ended the conversation. Okay, the next one can be found very near to this one only. Just after cross up to the other side of the stairs, and you will find one up here, lying up here. Block 5, 1863. Okay. Gina. Hey, where are you? Her. Ugh. Stuck on 75. This auto knapsack keeps taking wrong exit. Gina. Seriously? Her. Yep. Gina. Was going to see if you could pick up dinner. Her. No tikka masala? Gina. Food printers acting weird. Gina, install the Tikka module. Gina, spat red protein good across the kitchen. Gina, took TDO 8 am to clean up. Her, maybe ordered a pizza. Not sure when this crazy thing's gonna get me home. Gina, sigh. So the next one can be found very near in this position only. You have to just run down these steps straight through. And you will find it lying over here. To all Jesse fans. Okay, I want to get something off my chest right now because this needs to be said. To all Jesse fans, to the entire Romantic Fortune fan committee, Jessica Starling should not win Romantic Fortune. This is so obvious to anyone who actually pays attention. I used to be like you guys. Last season, I wanted Jessica to win, but as of episode 3.01, she has gone too far. Well, you people even watching when she rejected Louis, the sweetest human being on the planet. He stood by her through everything. The Alaskan accusation, that time the Harris boss malfunction mid-battle. The only reason Jessica has had any success is because Louis had her back. He loves her, and she doesn't even care. This is why I am throwing my support behind her now. I do not take this decision lightly. I was a Jessie fan for 2 whole seasons. Jessica is the whole reason I even care about Sterling Malky. But as a fan, I cannot continue to support someone so heartless. Louis, you can do better. So this next one can be found a little farther away from our place, a little bit near Devil's Thirst. In this portion, this broken building. I have to just get off on this street here and move towards the data point here. There it is, up there. Luna, here I come. Personal log, user 56579637. Looks like I am heading to the moon. Met with Jerry today and he told me some of our helium-3 mines are producing well below specs. Drone Ops has eyes to the ground up there, but even they can't say what's causing the problem. So the Corp is going to send up a team to investigate firsthand. Low G training starts Monday. Luna, here I come. The next one can be found right here near this campfire and this crossroad portion. Here, near Devil's Grip only, near this campfire and crossroad portion. You have to get down here and Go in this building and you will find one lying right here. China Sikh. Personal log user 2477895. I have to be honest, I miss Huadong already. I had a purpose there. I was busy all the time. Nobody here seems to get it. Sandy and Vanasha took me out last week. Welcome home, I guess. Some guys at the bar freaks out when he overhears how I just got back. Acts like I was living underground with mole people or something. Like I should be ashamed of actually wanted to have a job and work for a living. Guess it's a reverse culture shock, or maybe I should just go back. The next one can be found very near this campfire in this building, just to the right a bit here. Here, just go inside this building here, and you can find one lying about here. Mexico. Personal log user 88672821. Crowther is going to kill me. Got buzzed this morning, notifying me that Metallurgic has occupied 2 of our Mexico helium-3 facilities. No declarations of intent, no warning, just bam. So, of course, the blame's on me. I could file a grievance with the ICC, but that only covers the company's ass, not mine. Could get Great Lakes interdiction on the line, maybe clean up the mess by Monday, but my line of credit strained as it is. How did they slip in past the sniffer? Where are our threshers? It's bad, so bad. So the next one can be found a little further down this campfire when these 2 roads diverge. At this point, you will find a broken building here. Just get inside this building and go to the right, utmost right, and you will find one lying over here. Cramp. Personal log user 279348878. I have been studying for this corporate entrance engagement exam for 7 hours. And I haven't written any of it. That pinged my focus earlier. Asked how I was doing. Great, I said. Even told him I was the star pupil in this class. That I was already getting offers from Eastern Warfleet Corps. Just panicked and lying. What am I going to do if I do not pass? I'll have to go work for some third-party contractor or something. If they will even have me, I am screwed. The next one can be found a little further up here from there, and as we move a little further up, you will find one here. She's the one. Hey, personal log user 154723. Hey, future Greg, it's me, Greg. Prediction: Allison is the one. I know it's just one date, but it's her. We went to the transportation history exhibit at the phrase. We got to drive a car, like actually drive one of the old ones with the wheel and the foot thing. It was terrifying, but when I took this turn too fast, Allison's hand shot over mine and clamped on it. The awkward distance was shattered. She looked at me and I could see in her face that she felt exactly the same. Mark my word. Allison and Greg forever. Next one is near this campfire, near Devil's Creek. We have to get here near this campfire and then move towards here, and there is a broken car. On the side of the broken car, there is the data point. Idiot Army. Personal log user 89865441. I am not sure what I expected being part of a hacker collective to be like exactly, but so far the whole idiot army thing has been anticlimactic. Turns out a world-renowned cyber threat mostly consists of hanging around in internationally tacky-looking hollow spaces with dudes in anonymizing schemes, most of which are like meme-based. Like there is a dude or maybe a few dudes with a skin molded after the incredulous pigeon reaction hollow. Couple guys who are literally just walking kapok trees. I asked someone what the next big operation would be. I even had some suggestion. Doxing for Zenith, fizzing corporate warbucks, come on, and he called me a third baron as though data corrupted. The next one you can find near this short broken like bridge on the this side of Devil's Creek. You can find it lying near one of the structures of the bridge. Slipper. Personal log user 98654671. Okay, journaling. A thing I do now apparently. That I am supposed to do, says Dr. McLaughlin. Seems like pop psych crap if you ask me. This kind of narcissists BS second chances are into when they take a break from blaming sleepers like me for die off. Anyway, as though they have anything to recover from. What the trauma of having other people save the world for you so you can criticize them for screwing it up in the first place? I mean, sorry if I had to watch half of the world drown while the other half died of thirst or famine. I don't know. McLaughlin says this kind of cynicism is common for folks my age. But if that's true, why aren't we talking to each other about it? Getting old just feels lonely. No second chances for us. Now the next one is also nearby, just going across this bridge near this building in front of here. After you get here, just get up here and you will find one lying above there. Supplier. Finally got a lead on a personal log user 78678963. Finally got a lead on a VAT meat supplier out of Tulsa. Seems affordable. Samples scheduled for delivery later tonight. They do everything. Beef, chicken, pork, mutton, even alligator jerky, which I didn't even realize was something people want. If the quality is adequate, this enterprise kicks into high gear. Stuff what Dad said about real space dining. Legacy industry my ass. The next one can be found over here all the way. We were back here at Devil's Reef. So from Devil's Reef all the way back over here. Near this large pool. To the left of this pool, in this portion the next one can be found. You have to get here and there is the house-like structure. Go through it to find it lying over here. Get TDO started. Thank you for purchasing TDO Residential Organization Assistant. Please follow this instruction to guide your TDO through setup. Before activating your TDO, take special care to tidy your place of residence manually. Don't worry, it's the last time you'll ever have to do. Download the TDO app to your personal augmentation device. Activation code is printed on the underside of your TDO. Power on your TDO. Use the app to inform the TDO which rooms you wish to service. Allow 3 minutes for your TDO to record the layouts of your home and the location of your personal possessions. For testing purpose, remove 5-10 items from their usual location. Tell your TDO tidy time. If instructions has been followed correctly, your TDO should now be ready to keep your home tidy and organized. Enjoy your TDO Residential Organization Assistant. Okay, so the next one can be found right over here in the middle of this pool. The island that is in the middle, obviously it is surrounded by snap walls, so you have to get in here carefully. Okay, in this portion it is here. Raker building. Hello, our records show that you have been researching safe, comfortable, affordable apartments in the Salt Lake City area. You should consider the Raker building. Take a moment to review some of the features we offer our tenants. Totally automated facility monitored by bleeding edge robotic security team. Always comfy biometric climate control auto adjusts the temperature of every room. Complimentary Pharaoh runner upon signing a lease. Let your runner grab groceries and collect packages while you enjoy the luxury of vehicle lifestyle. Our Hollow site features a free, fully immersive tour of the facilities, including a customizable mock-up of your future Raker apartment. Visit us today and start living. The next one you can find a little north of this island, small island. You have to go up, and here is this, there is a campfire, and there are two roads moving here through the middle portion. If you go here and go a little further up, you will find a data point beside the pool. S venue stuffing. A special message from SVenue staffing. Public record indicates that you own, operate, or are otherwise affiliated with Human Resources Department of Concert Hall, mid-size theater, arena, convention center, or other venue. Please take a moment to consider subcontracting SVenue staffing to provide security for your next event. Robotic security units are safe, efficient, and vigilant. Here's what satisfied SVenue staffing customers have to say. SVenue robots are great. Our events have never run as smoothly as they do now. Annie Hutchins, Sterling Market Editor. I was kinda worried about switching security providers, but I could have asked for a better experience. SVenue just drops them off and you are golden. Ray Krustek, San Diego, PhenumCon. SVenue staffing is awesome. The units they send us keep the club safe and stay off the dance floor. Can't recommend strongly enough. Orlando Peak. Atlato Club. The next one can be found a little up here near this in this two teeth bandit camp that we had completed. After we get here, we have to go down here and through here. I'll find out one here. Rover is coming. There is rover location coming to your neighborhood. This is a special offer exclusively for print value dollar recipient. Do you know that Rover, America's premium automated brew pub, is opening a location near you? Our Boston, Chicago, St. Louis locations are famous nationwide for their delicious craft beer selection, artisanal take on classical bar food, and gracious robotic barista who I spend good drinking money on tips. Make tonight a Rover night at our new print value dollar reception location and enjoy 15% off your tab. So the next one can be found a little bit up over here. We were back here at whatever. It is not showing anymore. Two Teeth Bandit Camp. We are back here and it's all the way up here. Near this campfire, then we have to get over here. Here, near this log, we can find one data point. Lure of the real. You've got to feel it. Meet the kids who reject the convenience of holotourism for the sake of authenticity. February 10, 2063. When I first see Eddie Westlake, he is sitting at a picnic table outside his Bangkok youth hostel, smoking an old-fashioned tobacco cigarette and nodding his head to whatever tunes blasting his plastic earbuds. Ever listen to early 2000 pop? He asks. Super John D. Here. He pops one of the earbuds out, wipes it down on his t-shirt, hands it to me to stick in my physical ear behind my Faro Focus 60. For a while we sit together this way, listening to archaic pip-pop at Scumvit Road as Scumvit Road comes to life. It's early here, and let me clarify when I say here, I really mean here. This is not a virtual environment crafted to mimic the city exorcism that Bangkok evokes in so many Western imaginations. I had to hop a bird to get here, and I will have to hop another to get back home. Eddie is one of a growing number of young people rejecting the ubiquity of holotourism in favor of hard travel. Every year, driven at least in part by a youth culture that prizes authenticity over convenience, a growing number of 20-somethings pack annual actual bags, board actual birds, and set off to explore distant destinations without the benefit of technological augmentation. You have gotta feel it, says Eddie, gesturing vaguely to the scene before us. Souvenir stands, tuk-tuks, self and human guided both, and opens airpad Thai stands, all of it thronged with young dudes and ladies affecting the same anachronistic styles as Eddie's. Like all this used to be underwater. I got a buddy out in Phuket, right? Spent 2 years rebuilding one of the temples out there. Is that sort of experience you get through your focus? Some part of me can't shake the feeling that every overtures towards realness are just an affectation, and he is no more than another dopey rich kid desperate to differentiate himself from his parents, my generation. But that doesn't mean he get a corrupt. And there is another one just near here, near this log where we found the other one. There is another small kind of broken blade here. Here you will find the data point. I must thank you. From Duncan Rowing to Samuel Powell, subject, I must thank you. Dear Mr. Powell, I am writing in response to your message that you sent me asking how I am since the verdict was reversed. I am doing well. Sometimes it's very difficult to get used to how things are now. Many things have changed and the world moves quick. My nephew Dale is trying to teach me how to use an AUG called a focus, but it's hard to learn. I also miss driving a car very much. Few in the holler had the robot cars when I was young. Now everyone uses them and it feels strange to not be in control when I go out of my house. However, it is better than prison. I see my family every day. I am able to play guitar again. You are the reason I am free. Thank you for believing I was innocent when no one else did. I do not know if you are a religious man, Mr. Powell, but I believe God sent you to me when I most needed you. Thank you. Duncan Rory. The next one can be found a little above that portion, just a little. Here in the road, there are 3 roads going through. In the middle road here, in this portion, you can find the next one. Just go up here a little bit and you will find it lying around. Log 3364. The Scoop 28M, some dude on the tormented board is claiming to be a vast silver. Sin kills laps. Sin kills. No dude, no. They caught versus 20 years ago. The Scoop 28M, right? Sin kills. What's she doing? The Scoop 28. Come see. Sin kills. Can't. Communing. The Scoop 28 has got a pretty flash skin, but why would vast silver be hanging out on a tormented board? Sin kills. Rogue AIs dig horror hollows. Sin kills. The scope 28 laughs. The scope 28. I come to regulate Earth's climate and complain about fifth installment. Sin kills. Laughs. The next one can be found right over here. The previous one was over here. Just go down along this road, and between these rocks here, you can find the next one. Just between these rocks, you will find one lying over here. No subject. Okay. From Grant Roy to Mom. Subject, no subject. Dear Mom, I heard some guys jabbering about a breakthrough on the Atlantic today. Said Southern Jersey, Philly, Northern Delaware is just gone. NYC nearly surrounded. My co won't confirm or deny. And since we stopped using aux, I can check the feeds. But everyone's talking about it, and all I know is, if it's true, Vinland was right in the middle of it. And that means you were in the middle of it. In which case I am right into a goddamn ghost like a goddamn fool. Screw this. Screw enduring victory and Zero Dawn and everyone and everything else. Honorable service my ass. I should have stayed home so you didn't have to die alone. Grant. Okay, so the next one can be found right over here. From this position, this campfire, move to this campfire. And these are Stormbird sites. So right now I am being attacked by a Stormbird, but I will not fight the Stormbird. We will have to move from here to this position, and I will show you quickly this machine part, this cannon part. On top of that, it ran off. Over this machine you can find it over here. Destined Folds. So on this Malign Autotaxi Service Destined Folds. March 4, 2064. When Destin arrived on the Autotrans scene 4 years ago as the latest thrifty alternative to subscription services like Get There and Livespin, it gobbled market share and shot to the front of the pack until recurrent hacks by idiot army quality auditors scandalized the company by exploiting egregious security flaws in its routing and billing software and launching the humiliating $45,000 for 4.5 kilometer hollow meal. The company never recovered. Destin promised to refund subscription fees by the end of the year in a data update. So the next one can be found a little farther away from there. Where was I again? I was here. So a little farther away, farther up here, you can find the next one over here. So start at this bridge and move right up here, and you will find one line over here. This sucks. Great, I am in the civilian guard less than a day and already I have pissed everyone off. Triggered discipline, asshole. How was I supposed to know anything from trigger discipline? Like I ever held a gun outside of a hollow game? No one got hurt, but the sergeant got a job, said the professor. I blew up was 20, 30 or 40 mil. The estimate went up every time he screamed about it. Made the entire platoon drop and give him 50 push-ups and then run 10 clicks. Hopefully that wore everyone out too. Too much to give me a blanket party rather not be crapping blood for the next 4 weeks. So the next one I have to move further below down here in the middle near the thunder jaw site. Right where the thunder jaws are exactly. There are two small pools and you can see two thunder jaws roaming around, and in the middle of the pool you can find the data point. But can I get to it without alerting the thunder jaws? Course listing 2063. Co-op Hollow Course listing Spring 2063. Major popular music. Our popular music courses are divided between theoretical symposia and practical lab work. Popular music majors must enroll in at least one of each per quarter. Theory. Intro to Pop Music, Como 10. Dr. Anita Freely explored the history of popular music from its emergence as an art form in the late 19th century through its contemporary algorithmic form. Students will grow to understand the cultural utility of popular music and the variety of techniques that form has adopted to remain relevant. The rise and fall of punk rock, Como 307/507. Dr. James Hamby, despite his contemporary reputation as a genre enjoyed by stodgy academics, punk was once considered transgressive and even dangerous. Students will learn how music forms based on youth rebellion comes to be seen as old-day music by contemporary listeners. Further, a close examination of select bashcore classics will reveal the depth that data corrupted. For the next one, from this thunderjaws I have to move a little bit down here to this portion. This portion, you will see a large tree here. Just go to the side of this tree and you will find one data point here. Grey Swan's Diary. Grey Swan Store Diary 6861. Hey Swarmers, TD time once more. Indianapolis so went great. Castle Freak equals to Trace Goal in the real. Big thank yous to everybody who came and hung with us. A special shout to Lindsay Frenzy who handed out copies of her own cash paper zine. Frenzy Files. DIYTC. What better memento of a real space gig than a touch and feel zine. Next up, a double bill with data corrupted. For the next one, okay, where was I? I was fighting the Glinthawks actually in this area, which I did not show you. Where was I? I was somewhere around here. So for the next one, I have to move up back here. Here I have to do a bit of climbing to reach up here, and then I have to get over here. I think I have to climb this. Yeah, let's climb here. And then you can find it like on the top of here. Hollow listings. Hollow release listings for 4762 2000 EST. Family Fortunes of War to the Dead. Who will inherit Dad's position as CEO of Sterling Malky? As twins, Jasmine and Vernal interview PMCs to bolster their dwindling robot cat race. They leave the hangovers and contract negotiations. They learn that hangovers and contract negotiations make poorly matched breakfast. 2100 EST, stalked by a savant, I see you. When an innumerate manual laborer finds a data collector. The next one can be found after just going down this hill, and there is this bridge. Crossing this bridge down here near this broadhead side, you can find one lying over here. We were Indonesia demands. Stare down the grey swamp. About halfway through Olis Pasnorov's We Were Indonesia, the iconoclastic documentation interviews a sweaty, obsequious ad guy at an unnamed holotourism studio about their virtual Indonesian package, which allows users to visit a squeaky clean facsimile of Indonesia from their comfort of their own home. Behind him so brazen that it almost comes up as a joke. There's a poster cycling between images of mist-shrouded mountains, verdant rice fields, and an ocean sunset that reads, "See Java as it was meant to be seen." The poster stands as a potent symbol of everything Personov is striving against in We Were Indonesia. Through repurposed news segments, contemporary interviews, and exhaustive personal analysis, Pasnarov explores the history and legacy of the 2041 nanotech disaster of the Sitaram River. By the time his narrative concludes, he had not just condemned those responsible for Sitaram, but indicated our collective habit of shrugging off the trial and error horrors of the 2040s in favor of a simplified hagiographic account of the Great Clawback. Pasnarov's retro sensibilities and obsession with linear two-dimensional film techniques have long been the favorite talking point of his critics, but here his passion drives him to wield established techniques with devastating surgical precision. Watching We Were Indonesia, we cannot look away. The film compels us to face the lacerating truth that in our quest to turn back the tide, not everyone made it to the shore, in perhaps the most excoriating moment in recent data collected. The next one can be found a little further off from there. We were back here, where between these two mountain-like places, there is a small pass that passes through there. Just go into the middle portion of there and look behind like log like this, and you will find one here. $, with make booker. Fantasy corporate just got a whole lot more lucrative. Let's be honest, you are already getting together with your pals to compare your fantasy corporate brackets, aren't you? What would you say if someone told you that all your hard work drafting thrashers and comparing warfleet stats could be netting you tens of thousands of dollars? It can. The reward awaiting you at MacBooker makes the major ports data corrupted. You can find the next one. This one was between these two mountains, just below here, below the lower mountain. There is a campfire. You can find the next one there. Just get to this campfire, and above here there is a data point. Splatter Central is giving away passcodes to Tormented 666. Today's giveaway is sure to please die-hard tormentors. Passcode to sneak peek Tormented 666 free of charge. Experience the latest installment of Joe No One's seminal Splatter Hollow franchise right alongside our review stuff. Rumor is 6664's the gore, so grab one of 66 free passes by streaming I Wanna Get Splattered to splatsen.hollow and data corrupted. The next one can be found right over here. The previous one was back here near the end of the month, and now the next one is right over here near this tall neck copper dips. In this portion, where the water flows, just before crossing the water flow, you will find it lying over here. Bunny in concert. Listen up, cool kids. It's time to stop crapping on Bunny. So the new Bunny in concert experience is, well, more or less what you'd expect. Bunny sings, Bunny dances, Bunny shifts skins, the crowd goes wild. Bunny gyrates through set pieces after set piece, then pushes the pleasure bot stick right up the biotransgressive edge of metal porn without quite going over. Sure, Bunny is a corporate mascot, and its music is algorithmically assembled glitter trash, but that doesn't make service agreement any less catchy or uncomfortable, and the anthem early adopter still blasts a clarion call to data corrupted. The next one can be found a little away from there. The previous one was over there in water, and it's further here near this campfire. Near this campfire, in this portion, you can find these broken parts of some machine, and inside this you will find the next data point. Metal versus meat. Sunday, Captain Chromo versus Pink Slip. REXW Challenger, Captain Chromosome keeps on coming, but can Man Muscle defeat Pink Slip? General Manager Ziki Garrett's vicious mechanical enforcer? Who will be hired and who will be fired? Whether you experience it real or by hollow, this will data corrupt. The next one can be found right over here, a little bit farther from there. Where was I? Whatever. Near this. Okay, I was somewhere back here. Yes, I was somewhere back here. So the next one is back here or here. I don't remember. Whatever. The next one is a lot far here. Back here. Let me show you. Yes. Near this meridian place. Here is a campfire, and near here, in this middle portion surrounded by water here, you will find a stone on the top with Datapoint. Hollow Skins Daily 6661. Limited edition skins for 6661. It's your pals at Hollow Skins Daily. Back again with three crazy good limited time only skins. As always, these skins disappear from our Hollow shop at midnight tonight, so get on it. Today's emerging artist skin was designed by Shimhat421. It's a cool abstract pattern, sort of reminiscent of Kandinsky, rendered over basically humanoid form, but check out those weird arms. The seasonal treats skin for today is something a little different. In honor of today's date, we are featuring Interior One aesthetics, extremely creepy demon design. Fair warning, though those horns are huge and might clip through the ceilings of some hollow spaces, if that's something you care about. Finally, our fans forever picks pick today is from Lilyville to send us the choice skin of Hugbot from Corporate World Rejects. All three skins are available for trial war at the Holo Shop. Stay tuned for tomorrow's skins. The next one you can find a little below where you were actually. This was the campfire and we got it there. Little below here, back all the way down here. Near this campfire basically you can find one here. Here you have to be careful, there are storm birds roaming around. And you can find one right here in the water. VertiVip program. Portland International VertiVip port is committed to your comfort. The Portland International Vertiport wishes to thank you for your recent patronage. We understand that physical travel can sometimes feel like an uncomfortable and an anachronism. For those occasions when your bodily presence is required elsewhere, we are committed to making the experience as convenient and effortless as possible. To that end, we are offering an exciting opportunity to join our new VertiVip program. A surprisingly affordable annual subscription free fee grants access to a number of luxurious on-site amenities. Relax at Deep Green, our premium spa, or visit Datapoints. The next one can be found a little further up here, where this is a bit near Meridian, and basically in between this Flirtation and Meridian, there is a campfire here near here. This can be found. Here there is a tree here up high, and beside the tree there is a data point. Naysay Doom. Naysay Doom is an exploitative mess. When it was announced at last year's Undertow Hollowfest that notorious Skolok provocator, prosculcator Lloyd Stroud was wrapping post-prod on an immersive historical drama about the notorious Naysay Doom cult, the news was met with, well, let's be kind and say, trepidation. Stout has shown himself to be a talented, if needlessly edgy, craftsman of shocking interactive holopump, but Naysay was some tentacle monster or science fantasy trope. It was an actual, real-world atrocity. Barely 2 decades in the archive, and while some critics, myself included, wondered if the Hollow would turn out to be Stroud's long-rumored turn to a more respectable fare, most predicted disaster. The first hours would make you think that the cult's greatest crime was the tortured diction of Harriet Coy's overwrought monologues. The next one is now all the way down here. Here, near this Cauldron 11. Near here, this area which is surrounded by a lot of freeze balloons. Over here, near these rocks down here, you can find this one. Avoid the doors. Avoid old New Orleans ghost stores. My wife and I were in New Orleans on business and we were excited to try this store. So disappointed. The air is subs buggy. 6 crashes on the tour. After one crash, my entire focus froze 2 minutes. Plus, even while it's working, so underwhelming. No actual historical information. Just badly rendered ghosts popping from alleys or looming in windows. Sound effects aren't even synced with the visuals. Subs poor design, 60 bucks per person. Do not give them your money. The next one you can find from from here. You have to go a little, not just a little, a lot up here. Near this place, near Meridian only. In this side, near this campfire, in this open area. Then up here you will see one data point. With it. Thanks for registering with VTITS. What's for dinner? Where's dinner? Who's coming to dinner? Up to you. Step 1. Log into VTITS. Duh. Step 2. Choose a menu. In the mood for Mexican, chiming for Chinese, savoring sushi, pick for pizza, any cuisine, any side or dessert you dream is yours for the taking, or shall we say eating. Make your selection, and while the food printer is whipping up your victuals, move on to step 3. Choose a setting. Where do you want to eat tonight? A 1950s diner rocking the jukebox tunes? A Polynesian beach where the Cava Colada? Where's that Cava Colada? Heck, why stop there? Why not try one of our truly exotic deluxury setting? Fantasy banquet while watching dragon riders, just check. Glass bottom helicarrier hovering over raging volcano, check. Step 4. Choose a skin. Sure, we love our friends and our loved ones, but do we really have to stare at them and listen to them every darn meal? With it's gulp down meets dress up. Is that your boyfriend smacking his lips across the table? Or is that hollow star Ryan Kasabian glowering at you with animal desire? Is that your kid screaming how she wants more nuggets? Or is there a blessedly restrained Madame Curie expounding on the scientific and societal impact of her discoveries? Don't worry, VT's automated systems are just as good as nugget serving and child monitoring as they are at noise cancelling. Step 5. Eat, the part you don't need help with, right? Are we right? Enjoy your VT's meal experience. For the next one, we have to come a little higher up over here. From, I think we are there. I think we are here somewhere. So I have to come a little higher up over here, climb all the way here, and surrounded by machines, we can see a data point.
Not much gets past them.
Let's get this data point. Summer cell, yum now. The yum now summer cell starts right yum now. Hey fitness buffs, how's that summer 6-pack coming? Need a little extra boost? Yum now loaded protein cartridges are 30% off through July 15. Yum now loaded protein cartridges are made from 100% all natural whey protein. And talk about easy, just install in any Yum Now nutrition printer and you will be on the fast track of real beach real bod you always wanted. Yum Now, live after sexing to the folks. So the next one can be found near here, just get to this side. I had to kill all these machines just to be safe. So on the ground lying over here you will find this one. Do not ignore this message. You have just been chosen to receive a free starter pack of Satisfy. Congratulations, you have been selected to receive a free sample of the revolutionary new dietary supplement Satisfy. The amazing satiating effects of Satisfy is made possible by the latest innovations in the exciting scientific field of micronutrition. One Satisfy tablet is packed with enough essential protein, fat, vitamins and minerals to replace a full meal. No time for lunch? You'll still have time for Satisfy. take Satisfy on business trips and avoid overpriced vertiport eateries. Reply to this message and we will send you a free starter pack of Satisfy today. Act now and we will throw in a pack of new Satisfy alert. All the micronutrition benefits of Satisfy plus the stimulant effects of 2 doses of Cafe Ho. The next one you can find all the way up over here. We were in this area. From here we have to move all the way up here. And I fought a lot of machines before I can get to this. I had to fight a lot of machines. And all the way over here you can... Where did it go? You can find it lying on the ground. More mosquitoes. Kasabian. Won't someone think of the mosquitoes? Ryan Kasabian, only guy on the planet upset about mosquito being driven to extinction. March 18, 2060. Blood Moon Star and Human Attention Vacuum. Ryan Kasabian is very disappointed in you. World, how dare you celebrate the death of billions of innocent mosquitoes like that? Ashamed yet? Well, a 32-year-old actor's spleen vented while accepting the less than coveted award for baddest vampire hero at the Escape Choice Award. Yeah, we forgot that was a thing too. An entire species exterminated in the blink of an eye. Kasabian pouted. If we are the planetary stewards we claim to be since the clawback, we are doing a lousy job at it. The lousy job Kasabian is referring to here, the eradication of mosquito-borne disease. Both old standards like malaria, Zika, West Nile, encephalitis, and new die-of-era emergent viruses like Jornu and Tripura. Yeah, were lousy job getting rid of those bugs and plagues they carried. Good thing we have got a guy from the lunar mining base overrun by sexy vampires. Hollow to remind us of our crimes against mosquitoes. That's a bloodsucker pun. There's a bloodsucker pun in there somewhere. Okay, the next one can be found over here near this rust-washed tallneck. Here, there is this tunnel-like opening. I had to get to the other side, but there are many of these beasts here. So machines here basically. So I got there to hide from them. So it's lying over here. Dalgard on FZ. Interview. Dalgard opens up about Far Zenith a little. February 28, 2061. Oswald Dalgard never stops smiling. Before last month, the Danish tech Wunderkind was known primarily as the creator and CEO of All-Seeing Hollow, the world's most popular holofilm sharing service. But for the past few weeks, Dalgard has been the public face of Far Zenith, the self-described futurist consortium responsible for retrieving the Odyssey colony ship project. Oswald seems an unlikely spokesman for the shadowy group of billionaires, but maybe that's the point. He is bright-eyed, handsome, in a nerdy, real-thin way, endlessly enthusiastic. When I arrive at the All-Seeing offices for our interview, he glances behind me as if waiting for a hollow camera crew to swarm in my wake. So this will be published as text, an article. He speaks English with barely any accent at all. I nod, and his smile impossibly widens. This is just incredible. Really super quaint. Love it. Oswald's countenance may be exultantly inviting, but the organization for which he serves as mouthpiece is anything but. To date, he is the only publicly acknowledged member of Far Zenith, which claims to comprise 77 of the world's wealthiest persons. It's more fun this way, don't you think? Asked Oswald. The mystery, it's what you'd call it. It's a stagecraft. For Zenith is as much performance art as it is a functional futurist endeavor. Although it's that as well, I can tell you that there's nothing sinister about it. We are devoted not only to extending humanity's legacy beyond the solar system, but also to make the world sexier, I suppose, more interesting. For Zenith is science and transcendence, but it's also fashion, rock and roll, you see. Well, no, I don't. But I don't tell Oswald that. Instead, I ask him a question that's been on the minds of a lot of people since Farzenit purchased the unfinished colony ship. If the combined efforts of the US, China, India, Japan, and the Western European alliance couldn't finish the Odyssey, what makes Farzenit think it can? Ah, he says. Here's what I get. Here's where I get to blow your mind. Very exciting. We are not interested in escaping a dying world. For us, this is not an act of panic or adrenal survival reflex. The Odyssey, under the stewardship of Farzinith, will be a triumph, not a retreat. This is why we will succeed, why we always have succeeded, really. Oswald makes it hard to press for answers. His answers are labyrinth, but something in his tone and his body language makes them feel downright linear. How much of this is the put on and data corruption? The next one is also very near actually, near this tall neck here. Here there is a broken train. Basically we need to run straight through there and we will reach here. And here lies the next data point. Odyssey ready. For Zenith, Odyssey ready for launch imminently. High orbit, April 1, 2065. We are not blind to the irony of making this announcement on April 1st, says Farzenith's spokesman. Oswald Dalgard in a live holocast this morning. But I can assure you this is not a prank. Construction on the Odyssey is complete. All systems appear to be entirely operational. In short, we are ready to go. All that remains is to run comprehensive system tests, especially of the bleeding edge antimatter pulse drive, and resolve various minor logistic details. The announcement comes a mere 4 years after Farzenith's purchase of the derelict Odyssey abandoned in orbit in July 2057. Dalgard wrapped up the announcement by fielding questions from press log on. Of the size of the crew, Dalgard said adult humans very minimal, 50 to 60 individuals. But of course, the living and breathing folks aren't the real headcount here. That would be 2 lakh zygotes in cryostorage. When asked about the projected launch date, Dalgard answered, "We are absolutely going to hit this July date." Obviously, we would have loved another few years to train our crew, but with the situation on Earth deteriorating as it is, we have decided to move aggressively. Asked if he has any parting words for humanity, Oswald nods solemnly. We share the hope that Zero Dawn will reverse Earth's terrible crisis. Either way, we at Far Zenith are committed to doing all we can to ensure that humanity has a future, if not on its home planet, then elsewhere. As to the remaining 76 members of Far Zenith and their identities, Dalgard remained characteristically coy. They are fine, he said. Thanks for asking. Okay. So the next one is near here, near this campfire here. This is where actually we fought the rock breaker and saved Hamas. Itamen actually. We fought the rock breaker here. So here it is. Do your part. If I have to listen to that rancid "Do Your Part" for Zero Dawn song one more time, I swear I am going to stab out my eardrums before the melody can fester in my ear canals. It is not inspiring, it is not stirring, it is direct that makes me want to kill myself before the robots even get a chance. I would literally give my life right now to kill that asshole who composed the goddamn thing. Ugh, can this apocalypse at least have a decent soundtrack? Next one is over here. Previous one was over this side. Now it's near here, near these dim poles. This side. Yeah, between these two campfires, this area. Here you will find one lying around here. Your gift. From Theresa Sanders to Sarah Peterson. Subject: Your gift. Hi Sarah. I want to thank you for your gift, but not the reasons you think. A little recap. I told you that I needed to enlist and fight this fight, that I would be coward not to do so. In response, you called me disloyal and shut me out for days. I do as I said you do. As I said I would do, if you remember. I was the one in this relationship who actually did this and joined up. Did I know I was leaving you behind? Yes. Did I feel bad about it? Yes. Then 2 days into the basic, I get a package from you. I open it. There's a gift inside. What's the gift? A stuffed armadillo. A stuffed armadillo? Am I kidding? No, not kidding. Attached to a said armadillo is a note. What's the note says? Does it actually say I am sorry, hun? Almost dealing with some personal issue? Yet, yes, I regret to inform you that the note does in fact say that. As though that whatever you care to call that begins to explain and justify your behavior. Which is why I want to thank you. Talking to other enlisters, hearing them describe their girls and guys, I started to see us through a rose-colored filter. I was actually starting to wonder if I would make the wrong choice. But the package and what was it contained, what a wallop between the eyes, that was all the doubts extinguished. You are an utter idiot, Sarah, a trivial, empty-headed imbecile. Given the choice between fighting killer robots and spending another day with you, hey hon, that ain't no choice at all. Don't contact me again, Teresa. Okay, the next one is near this place. I am currently being attacked by a behemoth. So in this place, you can get one of the data points. I is lying right over here. Just got back. Ho Chi Minh means gone. Barely got out. 2/3 of the brigade didn't. Fell back to Bryn Hoa along QL1K with scads of those cockroach bastards in pursuit. Kept blasting the whole ride. Must have killed 15 scarabs. Got so frenzied blue, had to pry my hands off the triggers and yank me out of the due turret when we reached the fort and carry me onto the vert. Couldn't stop screaming, and then the vert slipped off, and we come under fire not from bots but a Vietnamese battery. CO called it friendly fire, but that's crap. They were just pissed because we were bugging out and they couldn't. Oh my god. And now we are back in the USA and CO is calling it a qualified success because we delayed the bots by several days and time of is what Zero Dawn needs. Said we would have a new mission tomorrow. Oh my god. The next one can be found all the way over here, near this Maker's End. Now near this charger side, near Maker's End,
Keep quiet
here
now.
there is this broken plane kind of tank kind of structure. So under this tank structure you will find the next one. Odyssey Injustice. Editorial. What does Odyssey say about who we value? March 8, 2041. If you have been paying attention to all the public outrage in response to last week's announcement of the Odyssey project, you would be forgiven for mistaking the proposed colony ship for a gold-plated space chariot that the world trillionaires are conspiring to use to escape the climate catastrophe, leaving the rest of us to choke and drown and starve while the richest rocket off to Cyrus. One Earth spokesman, Azars Safavi, went so far as to say the ability to drive the planet nearly to extinction and then even considering leaving it behind is the sole provenance of the obscenely criminally rich. Dander up, hackles raised, you bet. Only problem is Azars got it all wrong. The Odyssey is not a cosmic escape pod for CEOs. It's a rare instance of long-term thinking in the midst of a collective disaster. Even if every aspect of the project goes swimmingly, which we all know will never happen, the ship won't even launch from orbit until 2080, by which time, let's face it, our species will either have found a way to reverse the climate or will have perished. Nor is Odyssey a vanity project funded by preposterously wealthy. It is rather a yet again rare instance of an international project co-founded by 5 nations: US, the Western European Alliance, India, China, and Japan. Yes, the project will accept donations by wealthy individuals, but donations will not buy a seat on the ship. The vast majority of the Odyssey's human passengers will not be old, rich, and small, but very young, as in embryonic. The entire point of the project is to spawn a human population on the exoplanet. The next one can be found very near to that one, near this Maker's End only. Just near this building here, two-story building, just near this can be found lying around over here. Odyssey to Nowhere. Funeral for an Absolute Future, an Odyssey to Nowhere. Paris, July 7, 2057. 25 persons from 5 nations stand before offices of Odyssey Euro West, hands clasped solemnly at their waists or held stiffly at their sides. Some are politicians, some are businessmen. These days, is there a difference? Some are scientists. Slowly, Gerhard Witz steps to the podium. I regret to announce that as of today, the Odyssey is no more. What exists of the vessel will be abandoned in orbit. All personnel will collect severance income and release from their contract. The sad fact is that our species' greatest hope for an extra-planetary future was never able to escape the gravity of terrestrial, all too human conflicts. Way size. Perhaps the innovations we pioneered will help improve the lives of future generations. Time will tell. Okay, so the first of the remaining 3 scan glyphs is here at Day Tower. As you reach Day Tower, look to this left side where there is this hanging stuffs over here. Just go over this bridge and look to this side. You'll find this, the claim, this one. A guide to the claim by the well-traveled Aram. Often I fling open the window of my villa, not only to partake of the scents and sights of the city, but to hear the questions on the streets. Equally often, I hear asked about what to make of these outsiders, these Osera, who are suddenly our allies or even neighbors. Why do they eat as they do, argue as they do? What is the matter of their heady scent? Why are they always drinking? Like a ray of the sun amid the darkness, a question is best followed to its source. So, for the benefit of the inquisitive, I contrived to join a trading caravan to the claim, at least as far as the closest village beyond the breakwater. The claim it is a muted land where fire smoke hangs heavy in the air among the tall thin trees, where the ground has not been dug up in Oseram's ceaseless search for metal. It is cased in frost beneath the frost, yet more frost, before stony soil and worse, soot, everywhere soot, all pervading. Though I had worn my sturdiest travel silks, keeping them unsoiled proved impossible. Noticing my discomfort, some Oseram washerwomen offered their service, but seeing the shade of the water in their tubs, I declined. Indeed, regard for cleanliness is not an Oseram virtue. Despite its protective wall of piled slate and slouched round stone huts, the village struck me as an overly exposed to the elements, the chief element in the claim being a cold, oily rain and hoarfrost. Even so, the open fires, hisses and spats and hisses and burned on, and the mood was bustling and lively, much as you might find it an outbuilding for livestock, for example. What I will endure to bring the light of knowledge to the folk of my tribe. The Oseram have no priests or kings, and spit at the mention of such titles, but they defer to the counsel of their wise men, the village eldermen. It seems each settlement elects such men for the purpose of unceasing argument. From dawn until long into the night, they shout over each other on matters of policy and taxation. Come the next morning, a line of villagers will already have formed for the privilege of arguing back. I joined such a line for several hours, while children squealed, birds squawked, and hammering accursed, endless hammering echoed over the trampled straw and rain-filled cart ruts. Finally, I was permitted to face the three eldermen delivery and deliver my question. I asked for their opinion on the peace between the tribes and Sun King Awal's offer of welcome in Meridian itself. Readers, I say ask, but the matter was not so simple, as the Osaram erupted into insults and arguments even before the word has finished leaving my lips. I found myself talked over, shouted down, subjected to seemingly unconnected abuse, and it was once when I raised my voice in return, an invigorating experience that I was grudgingly answered. Their opinions are muddled and mixed, to say the least, and I will not profane this parchment by transcribing the words used to express them. Suffice it to say that they see the benefit of free trade between our tribes, and indeed have flourished from it, after long years of war. However, it seems few Osaram that trade outside the claim return their taxes, or even return at all. The eldermen believe they have stolen away by a manner of living that is downright karja, a face that punctuates by spitting up on the floor. In return, I suggested that their mistrust and fear of a civilized way of life was positively visceral. I could not bring myself to spit indoors. This caused a great commotion, after which I was bodily carried from the building upon the shoulder of my host and deposited in the midst of a coming of age celebration, not for a man, but for some new manner of device. I awoke on a cart arriving at Pitchcliff. My throat was hoarse, my arms were numb from accepting countless challenges to wrestle, and the taste of an alcohol much like machine oil was still on my tongue. My head ached as if split down the center. Truly, I had risked my life in search of an answer. Is there more to that Oseram character than brawling, drinking, and shouting? Simply put it, dear reader, there is not, but let us hope that the Elderman fear will be proven true, and in time the sun's light and meridian's glory can temper this rough hewn folk. The next one can be found near the Sandstone Rock, where I rescued these people and did a side quest. Just after arriving here, look to the right and you will find one among the trees. Captains and Capers. Captains and Capers, these tales of adventure await within. The life of Maseret, the Sunflash, whose scales of polished armor dazzled his foes, whose ribbons of firebird red arced like his enemy's lifeblood, so drawn to the clamor of battle that he chose the outlander's life. Far beyond the Sundom, in the north, he crushed the helmets of clashing Osharam warmen with the very scrap they battled over. In the south, he stood in the sunset against the plain raiders, plucking their arrows from his body and firing them back. It was only the lure of the greatest battle of all for the Holy Meridian that drew him back to his homestead. And in the liberation he died gloriously, so that it took many hours to reveal his still shining armor beneath the heap of kestrels piled above it. Of Sadeva, the desert rain, once a daughter of the Sun Core, but who cast aside noble skills and pains to run with the merchants of the long burn. She of eyes like smoke and a flashing blade, her band only struck with the sudden storms, for the sight of blood never sat well with her, and the rain washed away stresses as quickly as it spilled. And so the sighting of rain clouds was feared from sunfall to Bryce Market, lest she might appear with them for many seasons, only until they were finally betrayed by one of their own to a blazon patrol. For her noble birth, Sadeva was permitted an honorable death, and buried upon to the neck in the valley of Lash to await the sun's judgment. On the first day she endured in silence, yet on the second, clouds gathered and broke with great downpour, and in its passing she was gone. The, the metal conquests of Korgan, the Oseram blacksmith who would hammer gauntlets into shape while wearing them, and bend barrel iron around his waist. He was sent to wrestle the cargo from the back of sail workers, claiming the lightning blast to be good for constitution, and overcame a sawtooth by blunting his jaws, shaking it so soundly that his cord fell loose. He claimed to have gathered a charging trampler on his shoulder and slammed it upon the rocks, and surely enough there were marks left by his furnace, blasted lividly across his well-haired back. As the derangement worsened, bringing ever more terrifying machines, so grew Korgar's desire for greater feats of strength. He was last sighted astride a rampaging thunderjaw, grasping his neck tight as a hawk to prey, and some say he remains there still. And continued from previous volumes, the exploits of Okera One Eye. By this point in the telling, Okera had lost his left hand for stealing the song course of Estuki and so traveled to the claim, seeking an Oseram force-smith who would affix a ravager's claw in his place. Of course, the only man crazed enough to undertake such meddling of metal and clay would be the leader of the three chains of rising. So for the last one, we have to get over here in Blazon Arc. In Blazon Arc, we have to get over here near this campfire. And here, going to the dock over here, you will find a glyph in one of the boats. The Forbidden West. Expedition into the Forbidden West. Reader, if you would like to know of the Forbidden West, there are none more qualified to be your tailor than I, the considerate Udain, healer of the bladder up. Why? For I yet live, unlike the outlanders who gasp or shriek on the tales that follows. Foolhardy blazons and madcaps all, they were brought to me near death, poisoned, mortally wounded, or driven witless by what they had experienced in the lands beyond the dawn. With such wounds, it was all I could do to ease the pain and try to make notes from their ranting. As the sun shines upon me, I cannot vouch for the full truth of these tales. I only hope they will satisfy your curiosity and turn you from the path that led these imprudent explorers and daredevil trekkers to their death. Though each account differs, it is certain that the western lands are most unlike our own. Some cross deserts of the palest white, other deserts are the color of fire, or even limitless sweeps of blue sand that seem to reflect the sky above, broken only by the remains of ancient machines. Others spoke of vast prairies of tall grass, each blade sharp enough to draw blood, dotted with shivering black flowers, or incalculable plains of dried mud, cracked like a great mosaic. At night, unknown animals watched with glowing eyes, and strange birds, all the colors of kites and fireworks, chitter and call out in men's voice. Most extraordinary of all are those reports of a lake 100 times the size of the daybreak, so wide the far shore cannot be made out, and so deep that an entire city of the ancients stands drowned within. The water is sore to the taste and sickening, and it is said to rise up and push back against those who attempt to cross. It would seem that dead cities without number would have been consumed by the shifting dunes in the west, their skeletal towers mired in seas and sand. The wind is heard to sing a low, mournful song through these ruins, or through the skeleton of vast metal bird now fallen, or over the great metal bowls now filled with depths of black water where fish dart like shooting stars. That song of ruin rising from a hum to a howl still haunted these men and women as they thrashed and sweated in unquiet sleep. But though the western lands are harsh, and even their beauty hides dangers. It is not the land alone that swallows up all who venture within, that inflicts the brands or wounds suffered by those few fortunate enough to return. Oh yes, all have spoken of new machines in the West, machines more strange and terrible than any found in the Sundown. With the fingernails dying witness have scratched out impossible shapes, or if they still possess several limbs and vocal organs, mimic jerking movement and imitated awful sounds, all belonging in the throes of madness. And what manner of men can live where the sun goes at night? These tales were the most chilling. One spoke of drinkers of machine blood, their lips and tongues stained, their teeth replaced with metal. Another described youths as pale as ash, all wearing the same faces, who haunt silently and tirelessly in the night. Still another told of a tribe seen only from afar, whose folk bruised themselves digging deeper pits into the sand, only to fill them in again for unknowable reason, while another tribe was only glimpsed on the waters of the great lake, riding their thin dog boats. O son, a half of me regrets scribing these stories, for they inspire questions that can only be answered by yet more doomed expeditions. And yet I must tell the tales of what else remains of these poor and wretched men and women. If they sought riches, they found none to bring back, nothing save a handful of black slate or a curiosity stamped piece of metal, a chunk of desert glass with shifting hue, or an odd smooth shell. I have kept all these things to remind me of those who were in search of the forbidden and paid for it dearly. Reader, if you think yourself an adventurer, heed the warning in the old man's collection of strange small things and go not into the forbidden west. Okay, that completes all the data points in the main game. And these are all of the frozen wilds. Okay. So from the next video I will start the Frozen Wilds DLC. Okay, so that's it for this video. I will see you again in the next video. Bye bye.